This is how the DEI backlash could impact pay equity. Is there such a thing as illegal DEI activity under the new Trump administration? Let's break it down. Despite the decades-long precedent set by the Equal Pay Act, which prohibits sex-based wage discrimination, true pay equity has remained elusive. The gender pay gap actually increased in 2023 for the first time in 20 years, with women earning 83 cents on the dollar compared to men. Across 14 states, employers are now required to provide clear pay ranges in job listings or directly share that information with candidates during the hiring process. As private sector companies have been forced to comply with these new laws and have sought to demonstrate their commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion, many of them have invested in pay equity audits to ensure their workers are being paid fairly. This is all well and good, but given the current political climate, it's possible the anti-DEI measures that have been championed by conservative activists and now the federal government could set back pay equity efforts in the workplace. But by revoking a 1965-era executive order, which was intended to prevent discrimination among federal contractors, Trump has effectively undone those reporting requirements for a broad swath of companies. According to the Center for American Progress, that means 36 million workers could lose out on protections against employment discrimination. Some experts worry that these changes at the federal level could give cover to employers who were only conducting audits to comply with the law, or those looking for an excuse to stop investing in pay equity efforts. Rob Porcarelli, the Chief Legal Officer and Chief Strategy Officer of Syndio, says pay equity can be perceived as something that largely benefits women and gets swept under the umbrella of DEI. While it's true that women are more likely to be underpaid relative to their male peers, these programs are really intended to address disparities that can impact all kinds of employees, particularly those who are underrepresented. So if you're an employer, what should you do? The Trump administration does not necessarily have the legal authority to curb DEI efforts in the private sector, but federal contractors are in a more vulnerable position, especially given the vague language of the executive orders, like what is illegal DEI activity? For now, some companies are pausing or reevaluating DEI programs that might be considered a violation of the executive orders. But experts say that many employers are finding that there's little risk in pursuing pay equity initiatives. In fact, they could invite more legal challenges and discrimination claims by not investing in those programs. So how are you navigating Trump's confusing executive orders? Let us know in the comments.